first thing I have to say is that this message is meant for my clients that are directly involved. It's for the dealers that are involved. It's for, my friends that are going to be affected, my former employees, people in the watch industry that are going to be directly affected by my actions. I know my words don't mean anything right now, but I really am genuinely sorry.
What's up everybody? Simon here. In this episode, we are going to talk about the Timepiece gentleman, Anthony Ferrer. Now, if you're new to the channel, you don't know that I made a video, is it possible the Timepiece gentleman disappears? If you're new to my channel, sometimes I do luxury watch videos. It's part of my passion, collecting Rolex, Patek Philippe, other brands out there that are part of this luxury watch world that so many of us enjoy and try to get. And in this video, we're going to talk about Anthony Ferrer because I haven't made a video for 3 years, and this guy has since released a very controversial video that really talks about him lying to his dealer network, to his clients, possibly and questionably taking their timepieces and maybe disappearing with them. That's some of the accusations that have been rumored all over the internet. I personally watched videos with Roman Sharf coming on, who had to address this issue as his past dealings and really what this does to the gray market. So if you haven't checked out my last video, please check it out. Did the Timepiece gentleman disappear? Now, this was a stunt that they did to shut down their YouTube in the past to supposedly get more publicity, but there's more to that story. The Timepiece gentleman, Anthony Ferrer, is really putting a damper on the gray market, and it's part of the reason why I don't like the gray market unless it's a very reputable dealer. So in this video, we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about what this means for the gray market. Would you buy a Rolex, or should you buy a Rolex from a gray market, or just continue waiting at your AD authorized dealer and hoping to get a better shot at getting something that's quality from a reputable dealer? So before I get into this video, I always ask that you guys like the video if you like them, subscribe if you haven't, and comment, also share the videos. Plus, check out my podcasts that are coming out. I've got some great people on the show that I believe will add so much value to your life. So check that out as well. It's on a separate channel called The Ideal Hour. We are also listing a few episodes on here before we move them all over there. So let's get into this video. Okay, so Anthony Ferrer, when I first made that video, what has happened was he closed this store and completely disappeared. He wasn't responding to anybody. People freaked out. Imagine giving your $300,000, $20,000, $50,000 watch to someone on consignment only for them to never pick up the phone on you and the stores be completely empty. That's what happened, and supposedly it was like a branding thing, and the Timepiece gentleman at that time had a big following. I was in shock. That they would do that type of marketing. So I made a video on it, and that video took off. It got quite a few thousand viewers. So I was pretty pleased with that people were actually commenting and responding. Someone recently said, hey, I should do a follow-up to that video as to what happened with this guy. And Anthony has come out, and we're going to insert some of these clips here, and really tried to address the people that he supposedly wronged, or the people that he lied to, the people that he owes money to, the dealer networks, the gray market, and what he's done to the watch industry. And ever since doing that, he again disappeared. So in this video, we're going to talk about what the heck may have happened and what it really means to the gray market or the luxury watch industry altogether. First, Anthony apologized.
The first thing I have to say is that this message is meant for my clients that are directly involved. It's for the dealers that are involved. It's for, my friends that are going to be affected, my former employees, people in the watch industry that are going to be directly affected by my actions. I know my words don't mean anything right now, but I really am genuinely sorry.
He basically said that he's been lying to people all along, that he feels bad. He's not going anywhere.
Just to talk about the first thing that popped up, which is that text message that I sent out to a few clients. Life just hasn't been fun lately, you know. Like the message said, I've battled with demons, and I've let stuff get the best of me, and I've made a lot of bad decisions. I made a lot of dumb mistakes. I even lied in that message about a robbery, hoping to cover it up even more while I try to fix it.
He then went and said that he's going to make everybody whole. He doesn't want to run away from anyone that he feels he wronged or people feel he's wronged. He's not going anywhere.
I don't expect any forgiveness, but like I said in my initial message, I'm not hiding from this. I'm not turning my social media off. I'm not going to file bankruptcy. I'm not going to leave the country. I'm not going to do any of those things. The whole point was to own it and start figuring out a way to try to fix it. Now, again, I didn't anticipate it getting this big. I don't anticipate the worst. I just hope for the best on everything.
He wants to be here for the long run. He wants to make sure that they are made whole. He wants to make sure that the Timepiece Gentleman brand continues, and he wants to kind of rebrand himself in the watch game. However, from my experience, if you are in the watch game or any type of jewelry business, and whether you're selling fake items, you're selling parts that are not authorized or are not authentic from the manufacturer, you're ripping clients off, whether it's misstating the amount of gold in a chain or anything like that, you're going to get screwed. You're going to go out of business. The gray market is such a business that runs on basically trust and loyalty, which is actually the foundation of a lot of businesses, but particularly in the gray market because they're not authorized. Rolex and big brand dealers such as Rolex do not like gray market dealers as it is, for the simple fact that there is a negative stigma that could be associated with an individual that they can't control, such as Anthony Ferrer, who has made a mistake. He acknowledges making the mistake in this video.
But I really am genuinely sorry.
He also acknowledges having potentially a alcoholic problem and some other problems.
I drink every night just to be able to go to sleep.
And overall, this is exactly why Rolex takes away small dealerships and also really tries to minimize the gray market dealer network. If you guys don't know what the gray market is, it's basically a market that's an aftermarket from the authorized distributors or dealers where you could purchase the same watch. Typically, the watches are well higher priced for most models because the gray market will carry something exclusive or something that Rolex will release to their loyal customers that a walk-in simply can't get. And what gray market dealers do is they get these watches, then they add a markup, and sometimes it's a hefty markup, doubling the watch price, and they sell it to you or to clients that can afford it. I personally have never bought from the gray market. I did sell one watch to the gray market in the past for below market value, but I personally never buy from the gray market. If I do sell my watch, I would sell it to someone I know or someone that is a potential watch collector versus a reseller. That's my personal belief in the watch game. And I tend to try not to buy from the gray market because there are so many fakes out there. There are so many issues potentially with the gray market that if you do decide to do that, you really got to go with a reputable gray market dealer. And Roman Sharf is one of them on YouTube. I believe his YouTube is called The Gray Market. And he really talks about the dealings of this whole watch game, how things are very competitive, how there's a lot of fakes and a lot of frauds out there and a lot of con artists. And you really got to be careful. So am I surprised to see Anthony Ferrer in this situation from my past video as to where he went down a very negative spiral? I'm not surprised. Unfortunately, this thing happens in every market and in every type of industry. During tough times, people are going to make tough decisions. And I do believe that Anthony has hit potentially tough times. Therefore, he made a very bad decision or several bad decisions by lying to his clients, by keeping their inventory, by maybe screwing over his dealer network, his trusted partners, and really not making them whole according to him and a lot of other people that have reported being screwed by him. So overall, when I would deal with the gray market, or if I would deal with the gray market, I would only go for a very reputable dealer, because the last thing I want is for someone to take a watch off my hands, put it on a consignment, and disappear on you. And you know what? It happens all the time, I bet, in smaller microclimates. It's just so weird that Anthony Ferrer was such a big brand on YouTube. I think they've had well over 100,000 subscribers, that he would do this. I personally think there's some mental issues involved. I personally think there's some hardship involved that we're not covering in this video that he could potentially talk about. And if that is the case, then that's very tough. However, I really am against consignment. And consignment is a thing where you may want to put in your dresser, but if it sells, great. If it doesn't, great. But a $50,000 watch or a $200,000 car can really disappear if that business is not managed well. And anything can happen in life that could affect the business not doing well. A divorce could happen, partnership splits, anything that could shut down and bankrupt that company. And your inventory that you've loaned these sellers or resellers in the gray market or any other market, they could end up taking your products. I've seen this happen in luxury car markets as well, where people would give someone a Ferrari to sell, only 6 months later know that they're never getting their Ferrari back, that the business has closed and the inventory of 100+ exotic cars has disappeared, and so has the person. So in my opinion, if you're ever going to test the gray market, do it with someone very reputable. Make sure there's an escrow involved. See if there's a legal contract that you can sign with that person as well. See if there's a collateral that can happen in case they lose your watch. Are they insured, which is a very big thing, because if something does happen, will your investment be protected? What if that store gets robbed? And I believe even with Anthony Ferrer, there was some allegations of a robbery happening or something like this.
I even lied in that message about a robbery, hoping to cover it up.
Guys, comment below, as I didn't read too much into it. But overall, you got to just protect your investment. And a lot of people that invest in Rolex or Patek, they really want to protect their investment. And just by giving it to someone that you want to be friends with on the internet or you think is a great guy is really not the solution to make sure that your watch stays within the family or your investment is protected and carries over to your children. So my thing is, be very careful when investing with anyone, which means giving someone something that's so prized that you can lose in a blink of an eye. And if that person or that store gets robbed and you're not protected, well, guess what? You're screwed out of a big investment, an investment that you maybe could have possibly sold by yourself using Chrono 24 or a service very similar that will protect your investment. In memorabilia, I had a guest that was on the podcast recently. Memorabilia has so many checks and balances for selling an authentic jersey, such as a Michael Jordan jersey or Michael Jordan shoes for $1 million, etc. There are multiple independent sources that will confirm those are authentic. In the watch game, it's a handshake to handshake, wire the money, get the watch, etc., that it's kind of scary. I'm glad to see people like Roman Sharf really trying to up the level of quality in that industry. However, I myself am hesitant to ever purchase anything on the gray market without really trusting the brand. Now, I have bought used watches in the past, and I've bought them from jewelers that have been around for 50+ years that have a great reputation. I won't name the jewelers, but there are jewelers out there that you could trust that have a storefront, a brick and mortar, that are family run for generations. I highly recommend you contact those jewelers as well to really see about getting a timepiece that you want if your authorized dealer is not showing you attention, before really contacting someone that's more in the limelight, that's walking around and enjoying the spotlight versus worrying about their client's money, which is your money. So that's my advice. Very sad to hear about it. I hope he does rebound and get back on the wagon or on the horse. I don't know, comment below, and really just takes care of the people that have or feel that they've been wronged or have actually been wronged. I don't know if it will happen, because apparently after he made his video, he supposedly disappeared right after that, contrary to what he said in the video, that he was going to stick around and really make sure that he makes everything whole. I'm sure he's going through a tough time. As a human being, I understand the complexity. I think when you do bad, it spirals into another bad, and it just keeps growing into a big bad ball of negativity. And this is what happened in this situation. And sadly, the people that are affected the most were the people that trusted him the most and have dealt with him for long periods of time. Some people may not have been affected by it, but it only takes one bad apple or a few instances and your name is ruined in that industry. And this is what happened to Anthony Farrer. If you have any insight, if you have any comments, comment below on this topic. I'd love to read about it. Also, if I missed anything about him, or if you want to add to this conversation, let me know in the comments. Check out my podcast, The Ideal Hour. I truly appreciate it. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I'll catch you guys here in the next video.